let's go into the history of the city. Founded by William Penn, Philadelphia is the largest city in Pennsylvania, and at the time of the American Revolution, was the largest and most important city in America. Philadelphia is Greek for brotherly love. Penn was a Quaker, and he did not want a repeat of the persecution that Quakers had received in England. The city of brotherly love was a promise to maintain that freedom. Speaking of the fight for freedom in Philadelphia, the American Revolution was a battle between the 13 U.S. colonies and Great Britain. The 13 colonies gained independent rule to establish the sovereign United States of America, founded with the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Philadelphia was the capital of the United States until December 1800. From roughly 1880 through the 1920s, Philadelphia's industrial district supported an array of mills and plants unlike any other place in the United States. The U.S. Census charted 300 categories of industrial activity, and Philadelphia firms were active in nearly 90% of them. Towns like Kensington, Germantown, Frankfort, Manayunk, and Chester were all a part of helping the greater Philadelphia area become the workshop of the world. Philly had its huge facilities, but was known more as an incubator for small enterprises. This meant the city wouldn't be dependent on one manufacturing trade, nor any cluster of giant corporations for its economic health. The city has seen the last of its dominant industrial past, but the services are still present, being labored by the average blue-collar working class. Today, the city is seeing resurgences in modernization, with 1.5 million residents, making it the 6th largest city in the United States. It's time to take a deep dive into the culture of this town, which in many cases glorifies the struggle more than anywhere else. A gritty city they call themselves, the underdog. Philadelphia is home to the second largest Italian, Irish, and Jamaican American populations in the country. It also has the 4th largest African American population in the United States. Immigrants now account for 10.9% of Philadelphia's population, including one of the country's highest poverty rates, high crime rates, and an unemployment rate above the nation's average. For better or worse, having the moniker of being a gritty city fits Philly to a T. The gritty city fits from its historic importance from fighting off the British for freedom, to the small business workshops in the industrial boom, to Hollywood portraying the ethos with Rocky Balboa punching meat carcasses in Philly butcher shops, or the movie Invincible about the unlikely story of walk-on Vince Papale. Native rapper Meek Mill's music is the chosen gospel for the sports teams around the area. Meek has experienced hardship with injustice in the legal system, but has been able to come out on the other side stronger to fight for the rights of the lesser privileged. Being the second biggest city on the East Coast, Philly is kind of like the little brother to New York, always being overlooked. These are the things that the city is built on. The mentality of when times are tough, when you're against all the odds, when no one believes in you or feels sorry for you, Philadelphia fights back. And that's ingrained into the soil of the city. The old cheesesteak from Philadelphia, a simple yet classic sandwich. Like everything else with the city, it has humble beginnings. Pasquale Pat Olivieri opened a hot dog stand in South Philadelphia called Light Lunch. It wasn't until 1949 that an employee, Cocky Joe Lorenzo, tried adding cheese to the steak. The idea took off, and the cheesesteak was born. A proper cheesesteak consists of thin sliced steak placed on a roll with melted cheese. You will get a choice of American cheese, cheese whiz, or sliced provolone. Sometimes grilled onions or peppers are added.
If you're ordering a cheesesteak at one of the local Philly joints, this is how you order correctly so you don't get attitude from the cook or the server. Real simple, real quick, real easy. If you want a steak sandwich with onions, you're gonna say, can I have one steak with? The with, the without relates to the onions. So now if you want the cheese, you're gonna say, can I have one whiz with, which means can I have one whiz cheesesteak with onion.
Many Philadelphians will tell you that they look for a particular bun from the Amoroso Bakery that has been in Philly for over 100 years. The usual tourist attraction when it comes to cheesesteaks in Philly is going to be Pat's or Geno's, but local Philadelphians will tell you the best places are the small neighborhood Johns. Places like Sonny's, Jim's, Campo's, Steve's, and many more. But it's all preference at the end of the day.